Hello, boys and girls. How's it going? All right, here we are, Chapter 7, Lesson 9, Fractions and Properties of Addition. Okay, properties. We haven't talked about properties in a while, I feel like, but properties of addition are super helpful when you're looking at adding three numbers like this. Okay, as long as you're only adding in a row, you can use the two properties that we're going to talk about right now. Okay, I'm going to write them down here at the bottom. The first property, I bet you know what I'm writing. Say it out loud. What is it? Commutative. I heard you. The commutative property. Now, the commutative property of addition means that 4 plus 7 is the same as 7 plus 4. It doesn't matter the order that you add numbers, you still get the same sum. Now, I remember this one because commutative starts with C. And so I always do this. Wing, wing, switchy, 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 switchy. And if you turn your head sideways, that switchy, switchy that I'm making, it looks like the letter C. Okay? This is my little mnemonic device or my memory trick for commutative. Commutative, C, C. Commutative, commutative. Okay? When you switch the numbers, you make a little C. C is for commutative. So in number 4 that we have up here, in number 5, we're only adding plus, 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 plus. So we can use the commutative property. The other property of addition is the associative property. Now, if you were here standing with me, I would shake your hand and I'd say, hello, associate. Nice to see you today. Because associates are people who work together. They're in parentheses. They have maybe the same job or they are in the same type of business, but they are, friends, sort of. All right, so 4 plus 7 plus 2 is the same as 4 plus 7 plus 2. I didn't change the order of those numbers at all. All I did was put those in parentheses, so those are added first, and then down here, I put those in parentheses, so those are added first. They will still have the same sum. So the associative property is all about grouping with your associate. Nice to meet you. All right, let's look at number 4. 6 3/4 plus, in parentheses, 4 2/4 plus 5 1/4. Now we're going to use these properties, meaning we can move these numbers around however we want in any order so that we can add them more easily, maybe mentally, right? So I always start by looking at the fractions because, we're good at adding whole numbers. Fractions, we just started. We're still pretty good. Let's look at them. 3/4, 2/4, and 1/4. Of these three fractions, which two would I want to add together first to make my life a little bit easier? Okay, let's do a couple test runs here. 3/4 plus 2/4. That's 5/4. So. That's an okay fraction. Fraction greater than 1, right? What if I did what they are telling me to do and I started with these fractions in parentheses? 2/4 plus 1/4. 3/4. Yeah, that's okay, I guess, too. Not what I'm looking for, though. I want mental math level here. I want stuff that's going to be like, woohoo! How about we look at this? 3/4 and 1/4. 3/4 and 1/4. What does that make? 3 plus 1 is 4. 3/4 plus 1/4 is 4/4. Why do we love 4/4? It's the same as 1. So let's rewrite this using our properties. 6 3/4 plus, I'm going to commutative property these two, C for commutative, 5 1/4 plus 4 2/4. And I'm going to move my parentheses over here, put you two in an associative property, right? So I'm going to add my fractions, 3/4 and 1/4, 4/4. Add my whole numbers, 6 plus 5 is 11. What's 11 4/4 the same as? 11 4/4, let's see, it's 11 plus 1 more. 4/4 is 1 more. What's 11 and 1 more? It's our good friend 12. So instead of using 11 4/4, I'm just going to call that 12. Do you see why we used the properties of addition? Instead of dealing with these fractions higgledy-piggledy, we just went, hey, we can just make 1. So now we, of course, have to add this third term, 4 2/4. So I have 12 and I have 4, 2 whole numbers, and then our little friend, the fraction over there. So 2/4, and there's nothing over here. 2/4 just stays 2/4. I'm going to add my whole numbers. 12 plus 4 is 16. And then our friend 2/4. Hello, 2/4. There you go. So we used properties to make this addition of 3 fractions practically mental math. Let's do it again over here with number 5, okay? Now, you guys keep an eye out. What do you want to do here? 6 3/6 plus 10 4/6 plus 9 2/6. Okay, let's just look at the fractions. What looks wonderful here? Let's see. In the parentheses, they're telling us to do 3/6 plus 4/6 first. That would be 7/6. Not my best friend there. Okay, what about 3/6 plus 2/6 is 5/6. Not helpful. 4/6 plus 2/6. Did you hear that? 4/6 plus 2/6. Ha ha ha. Now look, guys, those are already next to one another. So we're just going to have to use the associative property this time. 6 3/6 plus 10 4/6 plus 9 2/6. I am just going to move these parentheses. Instead of having them there, I'm going to have them right here. Now, why do we love these? What's 4/6 plus 2/6? I know you already did that in your head. 6/6, zippity-doo-dah. So as you guys know, we have to add what's in the parentheses first. And we moved the parentheses because we can do that because we're only adding associative property, right? Okay, so let's add 4/6 plus 2/6 first. And of course, we get 6/6. Now let's look at our whole numbers. 10 plus 9 is 19. So we end up with 19 6/6. Well, 19 and what is that worth? 1. 6/6 is worth 1. So we have 19 plus 1 more. What's 1 more than 19? 19, 20. So instead of writing it as 19 6/6, we write that number as 20. And then over here, we still have to add 6 3/6. So if you have 6 3/6 plus 20, let's just look at our whole numbers. 20 plus 6, oh, I even love that adding, is 26. And our little lone fraction to add on, 3/6. 26 and 3/6. That was awesome. Using the properties, we did two like Albert Einstein looking problems mentally. One thing I have to say though, boys and girls, is be organized when you write things down like this. I didn't just write it in a big glob. I stayed organized so I could see which numbers I already used. Awesome. Let's keep going. All right, this is number 11. Mr. Warren uses 2 1/4 bags of mulch for his garden. You guys know what mulch is? It's like ground up sticks that people put on top of the soil, and it keeps weeds away, and it keeps the soil a little bit moister so the plants can grow better. That's what mulch is. So people use it in their gardens. Mr. Warren uses 2 1/4 bags of mulch for his garden and another 4 1/4 bags for his front yard. He also uses 3/4 bag around a fountain. How many bags of mulch does Mr. Warren use? Okay, so he uses mulch 3 times in his yard, doesn't he? He uses it around his garden, some in his front yard, and then a little bit around a fountain. How many total bags? So what are we thinking, guys? We have that, then that, then that. What's the total amount he uses? What are we going to do with those numbers to find the total? We are going to, oh, I don't mean that little too. Sorry, let me start again. We are going to combine them. We're going to combine these 3 times he put mulch down and see how much he put down altogether. Okay? All right, let's take a look. Should we just start here and go 1/4 plus 1/4 and add these 2 numbers first? Or keep your eyes out now. Look at these fractions. Look at all these fractions. Is anything screaming out at you? I'm super helpful. Something is screaming out at me, and I'm going to use the associative property right now to add those 2 first. Can you see why, boys and girls? 1/4 plus 3/4, right? It gives us our good friend whole number. All right, 1/4 plus 3/4 is 4/4. And then we have our whole number 4. We don't have a whole number over there. Well, that's okay. 4 plus nothing is 4. So 4 1/4. So 4 whole things and 1 more whole thing is the same as 4. What's 4 plus 1 more? 5. We're not going to use it like that. We're just going to use lovely 5. And then, of course, this. We can't forget about that, right? So 2 1/4 plus 5. Well, 2 plus 5 is 7. And then we have our fraction just hanging out there. 5 doesn't have a fraction because we took care of that, right? 7 1/4 bags. Awesome. So guys, when you see 3 fractions or 3 mixed numbers or a fraction and some mixed numbers, look for ways to make whole numbers. Okay? Look for those 4/4, 5/5, 8/8. All right, let's keep going. A carpenter, wait, what page is this? Is this the back? All right, it's the back. A carpenter cut a board into 3 pieces. One piece was 2 5/6 feet long. The second piece was 3 1/6 feet long. The third piece was 1 5/6 feet long. How long was the board? All right, so here we go. One piece was 2 5/6. The second was 3 1/6, and the third was 1 5/6. So he had a board and he cut it into 3 pieces. So how long was the board to start with? Well, let's combine the 3 pieces he has. There's the first piece, plus the second piece, plus the third piece. Okay, take a look, guys. Look at those fractions. I want to make one whole. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, goodness, there's actually a couple ways you could do this, right? I'm going to put the parentheses here, but you actually could have put them around the last 2. So there were 2 ways you could have done this one. That's nice. So 5/6 plus 1/6. Yay for 6/6, which is the same as 1. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 1 more. 5 plus 1, 6. So we're not going to deal with 5 and 6, 6. We're just going to call it whole number 6. We love whole numbers. Okay, 6, and then of course we have to add on this 6 plus 1 5/6. Well, 6 doesn't have a fraction, so 5/6, you just stay 5/6, and then 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 5/6. Awesome, guys. All right, here we are down at the review. This is chapter 5, lesson 5. Darlene was asked to identify which of the following numbers is prime. Which number should she choose? Which of the following is prime? Have you thought about prime numbers lately? Remember, prime numbers only have 2 factors. So there are only 2 numbers that you can multiply to make a prime. For example, 5. That's it. And one of the numbers is always itself. Okay, what's another prime? 7, right? Those are the primes. Remember them? Only 2 factors, 1 and the number itself. So let's look at our list. 2, 12, 21, 39. Well, I'm immediately eliminating 12 because 12 is an even number, and I know that can be divided by 2. Now, 21 and 39. Don't be tempted to choose one of those because they are odd. Odd numbers are not always prime. Okay? And then, of course, up here we have our friend 2. Is anything yelling out at you yet? 2 is a very special number, isn't it? It's the only even prime number. The only way to get 2 by multiplying whole numbers is by 1 times 2, right? 2 factors, 1 and the number itself. Okay, so 2 is the only even prime number. So the answer is A. Now, just to check these guys, you of course know that 7 times 3 is 21, and 39, remember your divisibility rules, right? Add the 2 digits. Remember that, guys? 3 plus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12. If 12 is divisible by 3, 39 is divisible by 3, which means it is not prime. Those divisibility rules are very helpful. All right? Have a great night and good luck on the rest of your homework. I know you're going to do great.